Hey guys, I got a brand new video for you today, and Cactus released some exciting new firmware updates to the V6ii triggers, transceivers, receivers, whatever you want to call them. They now support TTL and HSS on the Fuji system, which is, I think, a first for Fuji. I don't know if Nissan has TTL. They might, I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Unless you get the EFX 500, you really don't have any way to get TTL support with the Fuji system. But now it's got cross-brand support, so you can use basically any flash on the system. If you have a Sony camera, you have to get the Sony version of these triggers. I only have the standard ones. I think it just work with Fuji, Canon, Nikon, and the rest of the companies. But yeah, on the website they show the timeline. Sigma, Fujifilm, and Sony all got this update on June 16th, so that was a couple days ago. So yeah, I think we want to install this and test it out because it's pretty exciting for me. I don't normally shoot with TTL. If you don't know what TTL is, it's just a way for your camera to meter the scenario based off your camera settings and transmit to the flash, and the flash will control the output to give you the perfect exposure, I guess is the way you can say it. And with some TTL, you can actually adjust the exposure higher or lower, and that's something that you'll be able to do with these triggers. So say you wanted it to be a little bit brighter than what it's metering at, you can do that, and that's pretty sweet. And HSS support we already had, but I think it's way easier now. You don't have to learn anything, it just kind of works right out of the box. So what I'm going to do is install the firmware on this, and we'll see what happens. Alright, so I'll put a link in the description where to download the firmware from, but once you've downloaded it, you're going to want to open it up. And right away, it's basically going to tell you that nothing's connected. And so what you got to do is plug your USB port into one side of your computer, the other side to the transceiver. Then you need to hold down the menu buttons, the button on the right, and then switch it into TX mode at the exact same time. Once you've done that, you'll see a red light blink, and it'll tell you that you're connected. I've already updated the firmware on this, but check for the latest firmware and select the newest version, and then update. So once it's done updating, you can stick it onto your camera. Make sure you update the other transceiver as well. They both have to have the newest firmware. In this case, I'm going to put the 430EX2 on the other transceiver. Now, setting up the transceiver on the XT2 is a little bit different than how it used to be before. You used to have to teach it and learn what high-speed sync was. Now you can just literally turn the camera on, hold the shutter button down halfway, and then click it into TX mode, and it'll auto-detect the camera. And just like before, you would turn the flash on and then switch this into RX mode. Make sure that your flash is in ETTL and high-speed sync. Just did a test here to make sure that it's connected, and we're good to go. So here I'm just demonstrating that I'm in TTL mode, and I can go negative on the exposure. So I'm -3 right now, and you'll see that the image is a little dark. And I can go up as well, and I'm just showing you here how it works, and you'll see that it's a lot brighter in this shot. Also now, when you click down on the channel, it switches it to manual mode, and in manual mode, it's just like before how you can change the amount of power that you want to use on the other end. So here I'm going to test TTL. I'm going to leave all my settings the same except the shutter speed, and if TTL is working, we should get the exact same exposure across all the shots. And now we're up to 1/8,000th of a second, getting the exact same exposure, so I'd say that TTL is working and high-speed sync. Next I want to try the RF60 flash. In here I played around the menus and I couldn't get it to do anything with TTL. High-speed sync is definitely working out of the box, but it only works in manual control, as you can see here. Alright, so this is pretty exciting, guys. It actually does work. I think because I have the older version of the RF60, they have a new version, RF60X. I think that will do TTL. For some reason, they don't support the RF60. I don't know if that's just a way of them making more money, but maybe there will be a firmware update to allow this to have TTL support. But right now, it does work with the Canon 430EX through the receiver side, and I don't have any other brand of flash right now, but definitely works with the Canon one, and we're getting full TTL support and high-speed sync, and that's amazing. And I tried it out on the Phottix Indra 500 TTL strobe. I don't have any TTL support. This only works in manual mode, and it doesn't allow it to adjust the power, so you have to manually adjust the power on the back of that, but it will trigger it, and that's something this wouldn't do before. So hooking the sync cable into that, I'm getting at least up to 1/250th of a second shutter, which is, I think, the max sync speed for the shutter on this camera. You know what though? I should try it with the X100F because that will give us probably high-speed sync with the leaf shutter. That'll be for another video. Anyway, that's all I got for today. This is pretty sweet. It's a nice little setup. You get 2 of these triggers, use your old flashes, and you have high-speed sync and TTL now. And that is a big deal for Fuji right now, because that's where it's lacking right now, is the flash ecosystem. I think more companies, I think Godex is making some if they haven't already. But yeah, Cactus V6ii, high-speed sync, TTL. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, give it a thumbs down twice. And I'll see you in the next one.